Elaine Thompson Herah lies. Jamaicans angry. But did she lie? Welcome back to the channel, people. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for making it Peter Lloyd World. Now, please hit the subscribe button so we can continue to grow. If you like our content, hit that like button. The algorithms love it. It pushes out the content. So, when you're ready for talk about this? Ready? Yep. Good to go. Today, Elaine Thompson Herah, Fast Elaine, on her Twitter account, posted day one under the watchful eyes, ... I'm immortal. Jamaicans today are furious at the world's fastest woman, Elaine Thompson Herah, for statements she made denying that she was leaving the MVP track club and her coach of many years, Stephen Francis. Jamaicans said and are accusing her of lying to them. I'm seeing this all over our Peter Lloyd World YouTube channel feed. They're really angry and really upset. They feel betrayed. Some people say, why should I lie? Why should never tell us the truth? No. When we first reported that she was leaving both Nike, her shoe deal company, and MVP Track Club, many of you accused us of lying, spreading rumors, and trying to get hype. By the way, if you're not Jamaican, hype actually means seeking attention. No, this was completely understandable. I know that you all are very passionate about your athletes. I see it in your comments. You go 100. You are ride or dies for your athletes, and that's one of the things I absolutely love about you all. You are passionate, just as I am passionate about my athletes, the athletes that I love and support. So I understood, but as I've kept stating, we only stick to the facts here. If it's not a fact, we're not going to be stating it. Take a look at the interview where she denies that she's leaving MVP Track Club.
I'm the fastest one alive, so they're going to create some form of news to try to distract the world, so it's rumors, of course, rumors, because I've seen articles in the media that I've died before, more than once, so it's always rumors in the media. They always target me, I don't know why.
And yes, she unequivocally denies it. In fact, she says the rumor is simply because she's the fastest woman in the world, so they keep picking on her. And that was a very unfortunate thing. I mean, I just kind of think the question was thrown at her and she sort of plucked something out of the air, and that's what she came up with. I mean, if I had been her team, that would not have been, I would have been a little bit more coy, the way Stephen Francis was, or the way that Bruce James was. Both of them were very, I don't know, they were non-committal. None of them said yes or no definitively. You know what? Instead of me saying it, let me show you what they said.
Nothing to say in that regard. Again, we're having discussions with all our athletes in terms of how they view their 2021 season and how they plan for their 2022.
They're various bandwagons. People, they tend to have short memories, and they tend to listen to people who they just meet or who gather around them since they have become famous or successful.
Now, as you realize, neither Bruce James nor Stephen Francis said no, she's not returning, or yes, she's returning. They were both very evasive, very evasive. And like I said, it's simply unfortunate that Elaine Thompson chose the path that she did. I just honestly think, she just said the first thing that came into her mind, and I kind of get it. Also, another thing that struck me is that there's three types of anger towards her. One is the obvious that, all of the angers are basically around this one thing, which is she lied. She said, I'm not leaving, and she knew she was leaving. And I understand why people are angry about that. I get it. Another one is why is she leaving? Some people are even saying she's dissing Stephen Francis, she's being ungrateful, etc. I also understand that. I absolutely, utterly disagree with it, but I understand why people would think that. And I think the third element is what's going to happen now? Is this the end of her career? But let's look at each thing separately, all right? We just a whole reason. Now, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, when she left MVP Track Club, she was the most dominant female athlete sprinter in the world. She was it. She still is I would say, number 2 given the day, right? She's the number 2 fastest woman in the world at 34, 10.60, okay? And Elaine, number 1, 10.54. So clearly leaving MVP did not hurt Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. Asafa Powell left. I mean, many other athletes have left. And I've just told you that I know that Rashid, forgive me. There are several other athletes who are also leaving and have left the MVP Track Club. So this is nothing new. And sometimes people evolve and sometimes people grow. So the last thing first, I don't believe, if she finds a proper coach, I'm hearing that her husband is about to coach her. I'm not sure about that one. I have seen nothing. I've only heard people imply, or they believe, or maybe he's going to be the interim coach until. I'm hearing that from relatively reliable source that she started her season and they're training at Michael, right? Now, the second thing is whether or not she has betrayed Stephen Francis, who took her from, beginning to where she is now. I'm not sure how accurate that is. I mean, the truth is, if the relationship has gotten to the point where Elaine and her team believe that they must leave, it means that the relationship has actually soured. And if the athlete is not happy, then it's going to become very, very difficult. And I don't mean, listen, I mean, we all know that Stephen Francis's coaching method is very harsh. He's very hard on his athletes. He doesn't baby them. Him go hard. He's serious. And of course, everybody's not going to be happy about that. But he gets results. I mean, we can't question that he is one of the best coaches on the planet. So I am thinking that if Elaine Thompson at the peak of her career, I mean, and only seeming to get better at 29 years of age, fastest woman on the planet, fastest woman in the 100 meter, fastest woman in the 200 meter, the first human being to come closest after 30 years and who could possibly break Flojo's records. She seems to have fully recovered from injury. She seems to be getting to that pinnacle point. I would be hard-pressed, people, to believe that she would leave Coach Stephen Francis if she didn't have a backup plan, if she didn't believe that she would be able to get the same kind of coaching. Now, as for whether or not she has betrayed their relationship, that's completely subjective, honestly. I cannot answer that one. I mean, everything in life has a season. And sometimes relationships have to end or transform or change. A child eventually gets to the point in their life where they leave home, and maybe Elaine Thompson and her team, maybe they're not satisfied with whatever. We don't know. It's going to be very difficult to find out the inner workings of what was happening between herself and the MVP Track Club. But clearly she's no longer happy, and if she's not happy as an athlete, she's not going to put out her best. So whether or not she is betraying their relationship, we don't know, because the truth is, people, we don't know what was going on there. I just think that her team and herself must be smart enough that if they make that decision, they would make that decision knowing that they have a way to maintain her forward trajectory. And she's doing extremely well right now. So that one is a hard one to answer. But I'm just expressing to you my personal thoughts on these issues right now. That's all we're doing. It's speculation. But as for whether or not she actually lied, um, I mean, yeah, she did. She did. She. That was a total fabrication. But I also think, I mean, I think having a limited amount of knowledge of how these things work. I think the reason why neither Stephen Francis or Bruce James or herself were said yes or no is, I think they were still trying to work it out. They were still trying to see if this would work, if there was a way for her to get what she wanted and for them to get what they wanted, and to maintain the relationship and have them move forward together. And clearly that didn't happen. So in when parties are negotiating at that point, especially if you are a public figure, an international star like Elaine Thompson Herah, you're going to be a little elusive. You are probably going to do a little bit of what I call magicianship, misdirecting, telling people to look left when you're really doing everything right. And I think really that's what they were all doing. She probably took it a little too far by basically telling us that no, she wasn't leaving. And for all we know, maybe at that point she thought, you know what, this might work. I'm not going to leave. So the thing is, before we start accusing the young lady of lying, because that's a very strong terminology, we don't know the ins and outs. Only herself and her team and MVP, along with Coach Stephen Francis, knows what was happening in these negotiations. We don't know. I really think, okay, so did she lie? Yes. Was her intent to misdirect? Yes. Was her intention malicious? I do not believe so. I believe they were in the middle of negotiating. I believe that she was still trying to hold on. I think they were all trying to see if they could get what would make her happy, and she was hoping for the best. The other thing is, should we be mad at her in terms of should we be concerned about her decision? As I said, Asafa left, he was fine. Shelley and Fraser Price has thrived, and others have left and thrived. Remember, my father used to say, people, we are all replaceable. Every human being can be replaced. Even when we don't want to believe that, we can be replaced. So as amazing as Coach Stephen Francis is, I do not believe that they would be so short-sighted as to walk away from probably the best sprint coach in the world without having a plan that was well thought out and proactive, and that they are convinced will work. As to whether or not she betrayed Stephen Francis and MVP, I cannot speak to that. I mean, that's a very personal idea. I would say business is business, people. Business is business. If she's not getting the treatment, the money, whatever, and MVP are the people who are representing her, we are all fully aware of how Nike treated our young lady who just started running last week and don't have an international title to her name. And that would forgive the French, that would piss off anybody. That would get anybody upset. So yeah, she lied. I do not believe the intent was malicious. She was just trying to misdirect us while they continued their negotiations. It might have been the wrong thing to do. So may I beg you now, give the queen a blight. Do all I will love her. So give her a blight. 2, do not worry about her future. I do not think her team is foolish. So, I really want to hear your thoughts on this one. I mean, I don't normally do a second vlog for the day, but I had to talk about this. And normally my vlogs are just fact-based. I just wanted to express how I feel about this, Let's not be too angry at her. We were not in the room, people. We don't know what was going on. Yes, she lied. She shouldn't have done that. But it was a misdirection. It was not malicious. And I know that you people are passionate. It cuss me off far. And I love that. I love the fact that, not that it cuss me off, but that you are so passionate for your artists, for your athlete. Yeah, and I respect that. So I understand your anger and your frustration. But just remember, as I keep saying in the vlogs, this is a business. Elaine Thompson's purpose is not just to create history, run amazing times, but to make money and to ensure that when she gets a little bit more mature, she can kick back her foot and relax, and her children. Her purpose is to build not just a legacy in terms of her talent, but a financial legacy. And I believe they think this is the right direction in which to go. Like I said, all that we were upset about how Nike was treating her, it was very evident. So, and MVP are the ones who represented her to Nike, right? Now I'm going to state this categorically. I am not going to bash MVP. Their record speaks for itself. They're remarkable. And Coach Stephen Francis is the best at what he does. But let us wish them both well. People support her. Keep supporting her. Keep supporting MVP Track Club and the amazing acts coming out and Stephen Francis. And let's move forward as Jamaicans and as Yardies and as people who love the sport of track and field. I really want to hear your comment. I never intended to talk for more than 3-4 minutes on this topic. I'm shocked that I've gone this far. But like you, I'm very passionate. I'm passionate about track and field, and anything that I think can upset the apple cart in a negative ways is something that I'm going to talk about. So, this is just me giving my opinion. I want to hear yours. What do you think? Thanks guys for supporting us, my brothers and sisters, kings and queens. Thank you for the support. Hit the subscribe button, keep us growing. We're almost at that 10,000 mark. Please share out the content, it helps us. Hit the like button, it is absolutely perfectly free. It's free. Hit the like button, the algorithms love it. It really helps to push out the vlogs. It's very important, so hit that like button. Leave your comments because I learn a lot from you. If I made any mistakes, please correct me. Stay true to your passions, people. Stay true to yourselves. Remember that you are royals, you are kings and queens, all right? And as always, what may I always say? Bless up